And we are live. Hello, morphemes, phonemes, and graphemes. Welcome back to another conlang stream where we're going to be continuing the analytical language started roughly a month ago now, I think. I think it's been a month. Excuse me while I finish eating this Magnum bar and find there's a song. Okay, so where we left off last time, we had done the romanization, created the basis of our dictionary, and did two things towards the grammar. So basically, I also changed after the stream, I changed the IPA for the on glides and off glides to be more accurate, I would say, instead of using the consonantal values. Now, today should be mainly focused on the grammar. Please tell me the audio is working. Is the audio working? It says it's being picked up. Sure. Is the audio working? Okay, it seems to be working. Sweet. Now, grammar. Where we left off, I had decided that the language was going to be VSO and noun adjective, which means this language is going to be strongly head marking. Which makes sense. Okay, there we go. Magnum bar gone. Why are you wobbly? There we go. So, I think if we're going to be... let's see about making a simple sentence so you can get a rough idea of what this is going to be like. So the apple falls would be something like Swornai. Swornai. Which is simple enough. The apple falls. And then if I wanted to say something like the man drops the apple, I think I could reuse that verb. Let's get a word for man. Fey? Nope, I already used feign. I'm gonna use a different. I'm gonna use something else. Okay. Ge. Man. But I feel like that's... Maybe make that a... Ge na. Ge nak. Ge nak. Yeah, ge nak. That seems like it would be... Okay, so then this would be derived from... Let's say this is derived from person, and nak is male. Oh. Okay, nak. The bouncing tone there. The low tone there. That's a falling with a yi. Okay, nak. So that is man. So now if we make the sentence, the man drops the apple. So he nak nai. Oh, why did that cancel out on me? So which this case, so is intransitive when it's just the subject. When there's no... Oh, was my music blaring out of my computer instead of my headphones again? I don't think it was. Where's my audio? Nope, it is external headphones. Okay. Now, maybe so when it's just the when it, active verb trans, active verb in trans, to drop. Let me think of an what's a word that would be a good filler for thing? Something like sung, song, song. Oh, oh. No, I want song, thing, noun. Really? When I italicize, the diacritic just disappears? That's annoying. Where's my falling? I know I have some. There we go. Song. I suppose I should parenthesize that at least. So if we wanted to give the meaning of the man just dropped something, like it's just the action, we can use song. Oh. So this is just the man dropped something, which I'm thinking will become. I'm thinking this construction will be useful to have going forwards. But I also think I might have just made this language ergative by accident. Yeah, I think I just made this language ergative. Whoops. Or at least swole. Somewhat ergative. Either way, this is fall apple, fall man apple, and then fall man thing. Yeah, that looks. Ooh. Cable got cut around my foot. That looks good. So that's VSO. And then adjectives. So we're already saying that adjectives go after the noun. And it seems like I also have more compounding. So most adjectives before, after a single syllable adjective will compound with the noun. So this is kind of how it works in Chinese to an extent, except unlike Chinese, I'm not going to have a marker to show possession, attribution. If either is more than one syllable, compounding does not take place. So if we take naitu, apple red, a red apple. But if we want to do something like to be deep red, Diamond, Yeah. Stative verb, man. And then man there can be an intensifier. Deep, very. Okay. So, apple, deep red. Or, yeah, it's one unit. So, a deep red apple. And that's night. Tioman. I should figure out a better way to notate that compounding effect. I could just have them as one word. Or, problem is if I hyphen, that'll make a problem with that unless I apostrophe it. Why don't I just do that? Yeah, compound words have hyphens. And if there's an S that appears, then it is apostrophed. That seems like a good plan. I like that. I actually like that very much. And then, because I like having some level of order to my stuff, why don't we also start making the grammar doc? How did I structure this for her? So heading 1, Cheris. Let's just okay. Heading 1. Cheris SIL. Word. Basic word order. Update to match. Why is there so much white space above the header? Just noticed that. That annoys me. The basic word order for insert. Actually, let's just make a name for this so I stop calling it the analytical language. Let's see. I want to think about the culture that would be speaking this language to an extent. Well, I've not thought about the culture that would speak this at all, have I? So I'm already kind of going for kind of have an East Asian vibe, but I don't really particularly want to base the culture off of that either. It could just be something as simple as why don't we have nomadic peoples? The nomadic camel riding large grasslands that have a lot of snow during winter. Matriarchal. What type of religion would they have? Definitely wouldn't have a single god. Would be polytheistic, or it might even be shamanistic or Shintoistic to an extent. Polytheistic shaman / Shinto type religion. So what would they call their language? Especially if they try to differentiate it from other speakers of other languages. Could be language of the sky. So the base of their religion could be based on the sky itself, but they aren't people who use the sky, they are people who use the earth. So if they had a word for earth, do. So they could call themselves the do. And their language are people of the earth. And then the language could be something like word for language. Lop. Oh, why did that? So people of the earth. so people language of the earth. Yes. Okay. So these guys, person, earth, soil, plains, earth, soil, ground. Two. Oh right, I made it. I made these affricates, not just stops. I should remember that. Any there? Grab that. I want to make these consistent. So people don't get confused later on because of me being willfully inconsistent. There we go. And then that's a low flat tone. And then is language word. And that's a falling tone. Split that tone in half. The Hey Chow. People of the earth. Let's give them the demonym, the exonym of the Hey Jiao. Jiu. Hey Jiu. Hey Jiu. Hey Jiao. What type of exonym should we give them? The Hey Joe. I think I will probably wrap this conlang up into another world I'm building, actually. Maybe. Depends. Hagen. Yeah, okay, so I just apostrophe that. Or instead of calling it Hagen, we could call it, so the people are the K2, but the language is JSOP. JSOP. The language shall henceforth be known as JSOP. Let's italicize that. Parentheses that is VSO. So strongly head marking. Cat! So good of you to join. Actually, let me move that sentence up top. And this applies to most syntactic structures. Well, I hope you've got it all sorted out. So the basic word order for JSOP is VSO. So if we take our example earlier of that looks ugly as all hell. What font was I using again for this? It was EB Garamond. EB Garamond. Add some space between the fall. Oh, that should be hyphenated. Sure, it's one word. Man, apple. There we go. Let's, and then the man drops the apple. Then make that smaller. Why does Google Docs not give such fine control over the format of these things? I need to find a way to share the Word documents with an audience. That'd be so much more useful. Now let's see. So JSOP is also an ergative language. Actually, Actually, instead of VSO, I think it'd be better to do VPA, verb patient agent. As can be seen above, J# is an ergative language. So if the agent is removed from the sentence, it just becomes the apple drops. The apple falls. I don't think I'm going to do anything fancy with the intentionality or not. I think I'll leave intentionality ambiguous, though I might add specific marking for it later on. Now the heading to adjectives. Adjectives follow the nouns they modify. If both the noun and adjective are monosyllabic, then they compound into one word. If either word has more than one syllable, compounding does not take effect. So if we take this is apple red, a red apple, get rid of that capital. But then if the two that's annoying. If the two-syllable deep red is being used, red deep, the two-syllable deep red is being used, then compounding does not take effect. And there is no marking to show the adjective is modifying. I think that looks good. I actually think that's all the grammar we've done so far. I should probably actually make a section on the morphology of the language, so people don't get confused by looking at it. I don't think I've actually written anywhere the rules of the compounding. I have, however, made some rules for the writing system that might be good to note. So, compounds are hyphenated if what's the term for that? A thing, just an interfix? Yeah, an interfix. When the interfixal S appears, it appears in compounds. It is apostrophed to the following, apostrophed to the following word. I should probably add some examples. Yeah. Interfix does sound like the right word. I mean, it's not exactly what I was looking for, but it seems like the most applicable that I can think of. And then I had yeah, I guess I'll use peeled apple. Let's make nouns capitalized. Let's bring in some Deutsch. Some gutes Deutsch. But only the very first part. Oh, thing is a noun. Oh, nope. Masculine. Let's make this actually stative. Nope. We are not capitalizing verbs unless it's the very first word in the sentence. So nouns are capitalized. Part of the reason I'm doing this is for my own sanity, so I can tell word boundaries a bit better. Okay, so there's that romanization. So nouns are capitalized. First word of a sentence is capitalized. I think that is good for the spelling rules. I might add more later. So I already added those. If you want to specify that if you want to drop the object or make it ambiguous, why can't I? Is that toggling accessibility? My shortcut for the downward thing on. Oh my god. That's real annoying. I'm gonna have to copy paste that. Song. Yeah, so in order to type that, put that diacritic on top of this character, I can't just do what I usually do and hit diacritic for a dead key and then hit the key letter. I need to type the character. Oh. I need to type the character first and then hit Option, Shift, and the diacritic mark. But if you look up in the corner up here, it's toggling accessibility. What the fuck? So song is added at the end of the sentence as an anti-passive to an extent, I guess. Wait, is that not? Okay, there we go. Anti. Just anti. And then grab my beautiful little song. So the something. Yep. Because that's not really a thing we can do in English, because drop in English. Yeah, no, drop is one of those weird verbs I made a video about that are kind of the closest thing to ergativity we have in English. Because if we say the man drops an apple, but then do something like the man drops, the patient is shifted over to the man. So maybe I should use a different verb to drive this home instead of drop. And I think it's gonna have to be eat. Or it could be C. Let's do 2C. Mie. 2C. I think it's about Mie. I think it's about time I actually made an IPA keyboard for myself. Copy and pasting is annoying. Should I? Nah. C. The man sees the apple. So if the agent just moves the sentence, it just becomes the apple is seen. Is seen. Yes, I could. You made one for me for the that I still have yet to implement. I don't know why, but I've got major roadblock on her at the moment. And now that I'm done with school for a bit, I'm planning on working on that a bit off stream to fix up some things before I stream it again. And I've been meaning to implement your function onto that during that off stream time. Let's see. Man. The man sees something. That looks good. So song literally, oh, if it's being used as a marker and not a noun, it could be, yeah, uncapitalized, lowercase. Actually, if making something uppercase is to capitalize it, is there an equivalent for making something lowercase? One sec, sidetrack. Wiktionary. Capital is an uppercase letter there's minuscule, but that doesn't really have the same feel to it as capital, because there's minuscule and majuscule are a pair. So small letters. Huh, that is interesting. We have a term for capital letters. that isn't uppercase or majuscule. But for lowercase, we only have lowercase and minuscule. We don't have a specific term, pedalize. I can see the train of thought, but it does not seem to be a thing, sadly. Okay. So before we get off, because we are coming up on the hour, we could make it a thing. I mean, we're both linguistic YouTubers. We could just start dropping it into things with very specific context that people don't question it. And eventually, lowercase letters are also called pedals. Pedal, oh my god. Calling lowercase letters pedals. Maybe pedestals? I mean, we could make it happen. Get all of Big Lang in on this. Oh, that makes it sound like a conspiracy. Oh my god. Calling the linguistic YouTuber group Big... Oh my god, that is... Either way... So... Most words... Most base words are monosyllabic. Meaning there is one semantic, meaning each word is, each base word is a syllable long. If a word is compounded, the syllable of the first word is spread across the compound erasing the original tone of the second word. E.g. No. Oh. Plus oh yeah, that needs to be capitalized. Equals hyphen F knifing becomes wait, why did that just jump down a page? also the if a falling tone, if a low ending tone comes before a vowel initial word, then an interfixal S is added before the second word. So add another EG. Oh. Clumsy hands. That. Peeled apple. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. I think that makes perfect sense. Sweet. Okay, so that's by and if a low ending tone, so those are the tones that have a low end to them. As that low end, I believe, would come from debocalization, or the loss of an S, or that eventually became an H, or whatnot. I think S. So the S left a mark on the thing as a low tone, and the S comes back only in these compounds, but the low tone has already been grammaticalized, let's say. Or, yeah, grammaticalized or set as part of the word. If that makes sense. There's one other thing I wanted to do, but I cannot remember. Oh! Good catch. To peel. Peeled apple. Or that's actually a stative for to be peeled, isn't it? Or, Now that I'm ergative, now that I've decided the language is ergative, I need to come back and look at that. Or to have been peeled. I'll need to come back and look at that, because that messes up what I was thinking of doing with verbs. But I also did remember what I was gonna do. So do I want to... Nah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was originally planning on doing something like in Korean, where these are pronounced the same. Ak and ak are pronounced the same. There's nothing after them. But when there was a suffix after them, they would be pronounced as akka and akka. But I don't think I will do that. I think I will leave this here for today. And we will come back to this at a later point in time. Actually thinking of maybe between streams thinking up more about the culture itself. But otherwise, until next time, I bid you all adieu.